Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to our video about our upcoming weekend, activating the Holy Grail within. My name is Rachel, and it's my absolute joy to partner with David to bring you this opportunity to go within to a deep level for self-inquiry. And to give you a bit of an overview, it's a deep journey of self-inquiry, and David and I will be there to guide you through this whole weekend, this journey to really explore what your experience is of the Holy Grail within. I call it divine consciousness or divine frequency, but David, you may have a different word for it, and somebody else may have a different
So I'm going to say, I think that's the beauty of it, Rachel. I think that it seems like a lot of faith paths, a lot of spiritual paths kind of converge around this. So again, I was talking the other day, I've studied the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, and there are two pillars to the Kabbalah. One's a feminine pillar, one's a masculine pillar, and they actually meet at the top at Keter. And actually, the person I study with, Megan Wagner, she's done this beautiful silk robe, but the robe is actually of Mary, Magdalene, and Yeshua, Jesus, together. And she sees that as the culmination of the Tree of Life. So that's why I'm kind of saying this is such a precious and important and deep piece of work. And I think, those that are watching, listening, I think you'll get a sense of resonance as kind of, yeah, this is actually something that I've wanted to do, because we haven't seen it anywhere else where people have brought this together in a sense of journeying in the way that we're going to journey, I think. And we're bringing a lot of deep experience. As an interfaith minister, I've traveled 15, 16 years across the globe. So we both have, what I'm saying, a toolbox of spiritual practices and experiences, and we will be sharing some spiritual tools. And we were very clear that actually, as we design the retreat, that people can take away these tools and use them in their everyday life. I think that's really important. It's an embodied retreat. It's not an intellectual, definitely not. It's of the heart, it's of the embodied. And it's really have a passion that actually when people leave the retreat, that they see us 2, 3, 4 years later and say, my goodness, just that element in that retreat has just made such a difference to my life. Might be a tool. It may even be, Rachel, a conversation they've had with someone else on the retreat, because this is not about me, it's not about you, it's about actually supporting this awakening of this sacred union, which I call, this is the Holy Grail within. We don't need to search out, it's within.
No, we won't.
So we won't be digging up the tour to see if the Holy Grail has been beneath the Glastonbury tour or wherever it may be.
No, we won't. We don't have to. We don't believe we have to, because it's already within.
Yeah.
And that's very much, where we both come from, as you can hear. And just to be clear, I mean, one of the questions that we'll get is, are men allowed? Are there any men here? And we would love to say yes. It's open to everybody, and across faith as well, whatever spirituality practice you have. If this calls to you, and we really do believe that you'll know, because it is such a deep piece of work, if this really does resonate with you, then please come. You're so welcome. So it is open to men and women, and for those whose experience of gender is not just simply male and female as well. And I would say it's probably for those people who are already on their spiritual journey, and are just looking for this deep piece to
I would agree. We were chatting earlier and saying, it's really for those that are on what you call the spiritual path, that they've probably got a spiritual practice or practices or reflective practices they're aware of. They may have traveled deeply with divine feminine, they might have done some work on the sacred masculine, they have a familiarity with the shadow sides, they're doing their inner work. But really, this retreat, as we said, will be a deep one to pull a number of areas together. And we're also putting, if you remember, on the very final day we're looking, and I'm really excited about this, because this, again, is for me a brand new piece of work. And we're looking at when we come to the sacred union of, we were saying, the Holy Grail within through divine feminine, sacred masculine, what does that mean for manifesting? And a lot of language these days is saying that actually as humanity we're going from 3D to 5D. And we won't go into where's 4D gone, but it is there. But we were speaking, and we've designed this to say, what does manifesting or conscious manifesting look from a 5D space, from this wisdom of connecting with or activating the Holy Grail within? So actually we'll be presenting some material which you'll take away using your everyday life about what does conscious manifesting look like. And it's very different, isn't
it? It is very different.
Very different energy to it.
Very different energy from perhaps what you may have learned or read about the law of attraction. It's law of attraction plus. So yeah, I think we've covered the 4 main areas. I'm just going to recap just in case we haven't. The 4 main areas. We're going to show you, guide you how to experience, how to create conscious relationships with yourself, with the divine within you, and of course with others. How to maintain them as well. How to live in the dualistic world whilst honoring your divine self. For me, that's that, how to bring heaven to earth. For me, that is the Holy Grail as well. Not only do we find our true self, but how do we live here and also be authentic to ourselves? How do we do that? So some really juicy, rich, deep things that we're going to really, really talk about and dive deep into. I'm excited about bringing you a Magdalene Healing Transmission and an awakening activation to deepen that wisdom of the Holy Grail within. As David has already said, we're going to explore the sacred union of the Holy Grail within through the divine feminine and the divine masculine aspects, and going beyond that. But we have to go through that in order to go beyond it. When I say to go beyond it, to go beyond any form or thought forms of separation, whether it be male, female, and all the other numerous ways our ego tries to separate us out and keep us separate. We're going to beyond that to come into wholeness and oneness. And then, as David just mentioned, about awaken the wisdom of conscious manifesting from that place of divine within.
So I guess, Rachel, for those that are perhaps jumping up and down and saying, how do I book on? I was going to say, actually, we've got an Eventbrite page where there'll be a link in the video below. You may even be on the Eventbrite page watching this video. But on Eventbrite, it'll come under Activating the Holy Grail Within. If you type that in, you'll find it. It will come up. On the details, it's actually running from 7 p.m. on Friday, the 24th of November to 4 p.m. on Sunday, the 26th of November. And we've put it across 3 days to actually give some breathing space to this retreat. Because as we said, it's a deep piece of work. So we want to give you time to actually process overnight. And if you're early enough at this point, if you found the video early enough, there's actually an early bird price of $199 that's available. So if you get yourself onto the Eventbrite site, you'll be able to see more details, find out more about us, grab yourself a ticket, maybe invite a friend along.
So we're going to do another video for more detail in terms of what it means for you, what benefits that we hope you take away from the weekend. So look out for that video. But for the time being, thank you so much for your time watching us. Lots of love, and hopefully see you very soon. Oh, the other benefit is I'm so excited is that we're going to be in Avalon, which is a sacred place. It's a pilgrimage for thousands of people. So it definitely has that frequency of a sacred place. So
I was going to say, Rachel, don't forget to mention as well as being in this sacred place, the weekend we're there, the Saturday the 25th, is actually the infamous or famous Glastonbury Frost Fair. So we have built time into the retreat so you can actually go and see the Frost Fair. So for those of you who maybe thought, oh, that's the Frost Fair, you will be able to see it. But for me, it will add to the atmosphere of what's happening in the retreat. I went last year to Frost Fair. It's magnificent.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And just to finish off with, we will have some time to visit the abbey across the road there, from where we are at Goddess House, and also St Margaret's Chapel, otherwise known as the Magdalene Chapel in Glastonbury. So we're very excited. So thank you so much for your time, and lots of love for now.
And thank you from me as well. Look forward to seeing you on the retreat.